So I ran across this article last week that I was reading, and I read about baseball a lot, and so like I like to hear like the fringe stories, and like I can read all day about how Honeywell pitched great in his screwball, like had so many resolutions on his spin rate and whatnot and blah blah blah. Like I can do that, but what I really love is I love to hear like the clubhouse stories, like oh so and so, like his pregame ritual is he like licks his fingers twice and wears the same underwear every time he starts. I don't know, like that's just that's a weird thing, but I love those kind of stories. So when I read this story about the potato throwing catcher, instantly that just got me. The potato throwing catcher. So we're gonna bring this up. So let me get to it real quick. So I want you guys to see the face of the potato throwing catcher. You guys ready for this? There he is. Dave Bresnan? Bresnan. We're just going to go with something like that. Anyway, this is him. This is the potato throwing catcher. So you might be thinking, Kendall or Lefty, what is it? Why would you throw a potato, and why would you be known as the potato throwing catcher? So let me break this down for you. This guy right here on your screen, guys, he is the grandson of the first catcher ever to wear shin guards or like shin protectors behind the plate. His grandfather is actually in the Sport Hall of Fame. So like he comes from a prestigious family of catchers. So he decides he's going to do his thing, and he's going to be a catcher in the major leagues. Well, it turns out Dave isn't as good as his granddad. And not only is he not able to make the minor leagues, but he's not even able to be the starting catcher on his team. So he plays for the Bills in Williamsport, and this is a minor league team for the Indians, I believe, at the time. And they're going through a rough season. They're coming down to the end of the season, and they like are losing a ton of games. And all of a sudden, Dave is out there, and he decides he wants to have a little fun. So he's talking about the hidden ball trick and all this kind of stuff, but he's like, wouldn't it be funny if I was able to trick the other player into thinking that I was chucking a baseball and it was a potato, and I threw it far enough, and then he thought the ball was out in the outfield, and then he would run home, and I would just tag him with the actual ball. Like, wouldn't that be funny? And then a bunch of players that were on his team were like, yes, that would be hilarious. You should do that. And so then they were like, no, I'm not going to do that because, like that's not good for the game. Like I might get in trouble, blah, blah, blah. Well, he's like, you know what? We're horrible. We're way out of first place. My career is I can't even be the starter on this team. If I get in a game, boom, I'm going to do the potato thing. So it rolls around. There's a doubleheader, so he knows he's going to catch at least one of those games. He rolls up and he carves some potatoes to look like baseballs, and he's got them in his bag, and he's like, okay, today's the day. And he's going to wait till a runner's on third, and then he told his pitcher, hey, I'm going to do this. And so basically it all comes down to like a couple of things need to happen, but he gets the pitch and he chunks the potato way over third baseman's head. So like the guy on third base is like, wow, that ball's going into left field. I'm just going to run home. So he throws into left field. As it hits left field, it explodes. So all of a sudden, like potatoes just going everywhere, and the guy's like halfway trotting home because he's like, I think that ball just exploded in the outfield. But he's like trotting home, and as he trots home, like Dave has the ball in his glove and he just tags him, and he's like, "You're out." And then the rest of his team runs to the dugout, and like the umpires are confused, the other team is confused, Dave's coach is confused. Like everybody's like, "What the heck just happened?" And like Dave thinks it's hilarious, and all his teammates are like laughing into their gloves. Like they're just like losing control because they just threw a potato into left field and then got this guy out. Well, so Dave did this thinking, okay, well if all hell breaks loose or whatever, and they get mad, basically they'll just say, okay, go back to third, Dave, you're ejected from the game, and all is going to be fine, and it'll be worth it. It'll be worth the laugh. Well, it didn't quite go like that. So Dave actually, when they threw it into left field, the umpire went out there and picked it up and yelled back. He put it in the air and yelled back, "It's a potato!" What a moment, guys. This guy's running home. He gets tagged. He's like, wait, what? The ball just exploded in the outfield. He's like, oh, no. It's a potato! Some French fries out here in left field. Just whipping up a hash brown out here. Just whipping it up. The dude threw a potato and exploded, made it hash browns in the outfield. All of a sudden, so the umpire gets mad. He allows him to score because apparently there was an umpire's president that was watching the game and had to he wanted to make sure that these umpires were actually doing a good job. And of course, the potato throwing happens on the same game where that guy is there. So he had to be ejected, and he was like, oh, you've screwed my career. Blah, blah, I'm a minor league umpire, and blah. And then he's like, a potato, whip it good, baby. And so he goes. So he gets ejected. His coach comes out and argues like he's trying to defend him. But his coach actually was really, really mad about it because he thought Dave was trying to show him up because he got demoted from AAA. And he was trying to show him up saying, oh, our AA team is so bad and it's your fault, blah, blah, blah. So then he fined him $50 and then he told the Major League clubhouse that they had to cut him. So basically... So Dave threw the potato, got cut from the team, was fined $50, and the umpire threw him out of the game all at one time just because he threw a potato. So it was actually the last inning he ever played in the minor leagues. He never played after this. So it actually affected his whole career. But so two final things about Potato Man. So the coach fined him $50. So he showed up in the coach's office after he had been let go by the team and blah, 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 all that. He showed up and he said, I'm actually not going to pay that $50. So what I did was I bought $50 worth of potatoes and he put them on his desk. So he bought the coach that fined him $50 worth of potatoes and put them on his desk. So that was a funny response. But then he also was worried that his grandfather would be really upset because his grandfather was in the Hall of Fame, right? For being a catcher. And so he goes and tells his grandfather, and his grandfather just loses it, belly laughs, all kinds of stuff. And he thought it was the funniest thing he'd ever heard. And so Dave goes on into history. I think he's in real estate now, blah, blah, blah. But he's known for the rest of time as the potato catcher. There actually is a Potato Day as well. I believe it's August 31st in the minor leagues. It's called Potato Day. So, Dave, you got cut from the team, but you're probably one of the most famous minor leaguers of all time. Thanks for bringing a little bit of fun to the game. As we talk about every week, I love how baseball can integrate more fun things into its being, and baseball this is the typical baseball response of anything fun, we're just gonna kick him out. But so keep doing these kind of things. Dave, your energy inspires me. I want to be like Dave. I want to be throwing potatoes around for a good laugh.